I've been following Rise to Ruins for almost the entire 5 years it's been in early access. It went through a name change. If you have a great memory, you might remember it as Retro Pixel Castles. Now, looking back, that name change was a great idea. Anyway, the game has been playable and in a good state the entire time it's been in early access. But I'm happy the game is finally moving to a full release so that there are no excuses not to check it out. Rise to Ruins is a god game that focuses on two aspects: town building and resource management, and also tower defense. Let me say, there are 4 different game modes you can select. This is mostly a choice about what type of game you want to play. Choose Peaceful to focus on the town building, or select Survival, the way the game is meant to be played, for more tower defense mechanics added. There's a middle option that you can also select if you're feeling a little bit of each. Either way, you choose a starting location on a world map. Now, there are all these different areas with their own layouts, and I'm not going to go into describing them. Keep in mind that you won't be able to start a new village unless you wipe your old one or have migrants, which that's a late game mechanic. I like the handcrafted map. It's great to be able to try different strategies without having to worry about randomization, or if I did something wrong or if there's not enough resources, you know exactly what you're getting into. And while a random map provides unlimited possibilities, it is difficult to code, and this world map is large enough that it's not a problem. There's a learning curve though, and I can't give you a full breakdown. There's a 30-minute tutorial video, so there's a lot here I can't get to. Rise to Ruins has deep gameplay. You need to learn the correct order to build. For example, don't build a kitchen without a farm. Okay, that one's obvious, but as you build more advanced buildings, they need more refined materials. Tooltips do a great job showing you what a building needs for required support, which I appreciate. So you don't start building everything all at once. You're not wondering if this building is going to work in this situation. Still, this is something you need to get a feel for, so you should expect to restart a few times. The tooltips do not give everything away. You still need to learn how much food you'll need to make it through winter. And even if you can build something, it might not be the best place to spend your resources early on. Keep in mind there's a limit how many buildings you're allowed to create, which adds difficulty to the planning. Make a building that you're not using, and it can have serious effects. But Rise to Ruins allows you to upgrade buildings. Often it's preferable to upgrade instead of building another one. Upgrades to your camp will expand this limit. The other side of town management is worrying about where all your villagers are working. You need to set their jobs. Having too many lumberjacks isn't going to be helpful and takes away from the pool of people that can build buildings. It's a careful balance that, luckily, you can change whenever you want. Everyone does the best job that they can, so you don't have to worry about their skills. You can also set stock limits for each good produced, which is way more important than you think. That's because trash! I know it sounds crazy, but it's a great mechanic. If you let trash build up around your camp, it's super bad. There's also a ton of tools to manage the trash, and it can be useful. It can turn into something good. For example, you can build a trashy cube wall. So being able to turn the trash into something useful is fantastic, and turn something that could terrorize your town into something that is a whole new mechanic to worry about in the game. Very cool. Now, let's move on to the tower defense. You're going to need mazing, and the tricky part is your town limits. You can only build as far as the reach of your town. Trying to balance between building good walls and giving yourself enough space is challenging. Also, you can't completely block yourself in, or else the monsters will attack the wall. I love how menacing the enemy is. Corruption starts at the edge of the map and slowly spreads closer and closer to the village. With zero fog of war, you can see them building and harvesting all of their guys working away, lumbering and building these graveyards. Ooh, so creepy. Why are they doing that? It makes it so scary that they're building up all of this crap just to come and attack you. And it's stressful as more and more enemies come at you during the night. Now, what makes me really nervous is all the different kinds of fences the game has. For example, the wooden fence says, a basic fence to help reroute incoming enemies, and that monsters will ignore it unless they can't find another way into their village. Great, that's perfect, that makes a lot of sense. It's perfect for all of my needs. Why do I need a stone wall or a curtain wall? What kind of enemies is this game going to send at me? This is very scary. Anyway, the tower defense part of the game is straightforward and they give you all the information you need. There are many types of towers and the range is shown when placing them. It makes it easy to plan, which is exactly what you want in this type of game. God powers help with both aspects of the game. You have all sorts of different powers that can regrow food and trees or throw a meteor at the world. Casting spells is easy. Pick the spell and then click where you want to cast it. There's not much else to say. The essence pool is your limiting factor when casting spells. It slowly recharges over time, or essence can be collected around the world. It's the same essence that powers other magic stuff though. The biggest question you need to ask yourself is if you can play this game from the start a few times. You're inevitably going to fail or, like me, become fed up with your mistakes that you'll start over. Retrying and thinking up new ways to play is part of the game. Restarting is always painful, having to redo all that work. Also, even at the largest time dilation, 3 times speed, this can feel a little slow. But it's all much faster on the survival game mode, which is the mode the game is meant to be played in. In that mode, the corruption spreads quickly and you need to build the town much faster. The game also gets easier the more you play as you level up, so you won't be failing forever. The experience is global and kept between failed villages. Overall, Rise to Ruins is great. Watching all the people do your bidding is relaxing. That is until you realize that this world is cutthroat and you need to be an efficient machine if you want to survive. So while all the screenshots have these beautiful villages, do not expect that to be your first play. I had a ton of fun building up the town and trying to protect it against such a dangerous enemy. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe and then go watch the rest of my videos. That would be great. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't do that.